Yes, guys, what's happening? First upload. I thought, why not? To be fair, join the party and start uploading. I've had a channel for a while. I've been observing. Um, as you probably might be able to tell, I'm a massive football fan, especially a Liverpool fan. For more than 20 years. I think it's time to jump on this platform and start talking. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, the topics I think are quite obvious. I think it's only fair that I start with my football club, Liverpool. The title race. But before I do that, I'm just gonna briefly cover the game that we had on Thursday on Boxing Day against Leicester. Very comfortable win. I know it wasn't great in terms of the start. Jordan Ayew put Leicester in front, but it was never in doubt the way we were playing. Gakpo with a worldie. And then from there, we just completely battered them in the second half. But yeah, let's start with the main topic. By the way, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm just going with the flow. It might be 10 minutes. It might be 15 minutes. But yeah, man, who knows? Maybe this can be a regular thing. But let's start with the title race and how Liverpool have looked so far this season. I'm not going to lie, we have been absolutely unreal. I was always optimistic we would challenge for the title, but Arne Slot so far has surpassed expectations without any shadow of a doubt. The style of football is refreshing. It's obviously down to Jurgen Klopp, building the team and laying the foundations, but Slot has done a fantastic job in implementing his style. We're 6 points clear at the top, game in hand over Arsenal. And just to quickly touch on Arsenal, they were not great against Ipswich. They got the win, but it was very underwhelming. But I'll talk more about that later on. Who knows, there might be a second video dropping later on a few of the other topics, but I'm going to concentrate on Liverpool for this one since it's a first one, first upload from myself. But yeah, man, I'm proud of the team. The team is doing really, really well. We had that little blip, with the back-to-back draws against Newcastle and Fulham. I was actually at Anfield for the Fulham game, the 2-2 draw. And despite the fact we were down to 10 men, we were by far the better team. It wasn't even a question. And we could have nicked that game, I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, Robertson hasn't been at his best lately. He might be on the decline, but I still think he's a fantastic fullback, and I obviously keep the faith with him. But let's see, in terms of the summer transfers, whether we go for a left back. I don't think we will sign a left back in January, to be fair, guys. But I am encouraged by the way we're playing, and for me, obviously, I watch a lot of YouTube content from certain fans, the obvious ones. And there's some crazy takes out there, and I'm just here to keep things objective. It might not sound objective, it might just sound biased because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I've been saying we're the favourites to win this league pretty much since we beat Aston Villa and went 5 points clear at the top. And looking at Manchester City's crisis right now, it doesn't seem like, like no one's going to stop us, really. Arsenal, for me, yes, they've been close the last few seasons, but I've been watching all the games. They are very underwhelming, They started well. They had some good results early on, beating Spurs away, Villa away, etc. But they don't look as impressive as we do, And just to touch more on Liverpool right now, I mean, we're doing brilliant. Look at the Champions League. 6 wins out of 6 through to the semi-finals of the Carabao, a trophy we won last year under Jurgen Klopp. There's no reason why we can't defend that. The sky's the limit for this Liverpool team, Gravenberch has hit another level. Cody Gakpo. McAllister's obviously a magician. Gomez has done pretty well since Konate got injured. There's just so many things that are going our way. Obviously, the only thing that can sort of derail us right now is injuries, in my opinion. But I can't see us slowing down, honestly. At the very worst, we might draw a game here or there. But the stats are impressive. We are 22 games unbeaten since losing to Forest. I mean, that defeat doesn't look too bad right now. Nottingham Forest are in the top 4, 5 points clear of 5th place Newcastle. They're looking good. They're looking good. So that defeat right now doesn't look too bad, But all in all, I'm very, very impressed with the way we're going. We've got West Ham at the London Stadium. Ooh, sure, I got to watch my step around here. Anyway, but I'm all good. Yeah, we just got to concentrate game by game, see where it goes. And then, yeah, we will be champions. It's just a matter of when, that's all it is. I'm not one of those. Every Liverpool fan is entitled to their opinion, by the way, but I'm one of those. I stick my chest out, I puff it out, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to win this league. The evidence is there. At the start of the season, I knew we would challenge, but I wasn't quite sure if we had enough to finish above a Manchester City or Arsenal, who've improved a lot. But looking at it now, heading into the new year, Liverpool are far better than those teams. Chelsea have obviously had that spell where they were winning games until they dropped points in the last few games, losing to Fulham and then the draw to Everton. We're looking good. Honestly, we're looking good. We just got to keep this up and see where it takes us, man. But I'm not just thinking about the Premier League title. I think we can do the treble. I honestly think we can. If everybody stays fit, focused, there's no reason why we can't. Or at the very least, a cup double, with the league and the League Cup. FA Cup, we'll see. We've got a nice little draw at home to Accrington in the third round. Champions League, we are in the last 16. You never know what can happen in the Champions League, though. I mean, Real Madrid, look what we've done to them at Anfield. They've looked poor, but they're just getting their mojo back slightly. Mbappe's performing a lot better now. You can never write off Real Madrid in the Champions League, and there's a few other teams there. Inter Milan, Barcelona are doing pretty well in the Champions League, not so much in La Liga recently. I'll touch on that on other videos, but yeah, man, Liverpool, we're flying high right now. I'm really impressed. I'm proud. I'm happy. We just got to keep this going, man. Next game is West Ham tomorrow. Since that's the next game, I might as well do a little preview. Dominic Szoboszlai suspended for that game after accumulating 5 yellow cards. So Curtis Jones will continue. My lineup personally, it wouldn't be too different from the previous one. Alisson stays in goal, obviously. Trent, Gomez, Virgil, and Robbo. And the midfield, McAllister, Gravenberch, Jones, and the front three. As much as I always like to back our players and defend our players, but it's clear things are not going too well for Darwin Núñez, and I kind of lost faith in him last year, I'm not going to lie, but I don't think he'll start this game. I think it's going to be Diaz down the middle. Gakpo needs to stay on the left. He has been unbelievable. He's got to stay on that left flank. And the Egyptian king, obviously, the face of the Prem, the best player in the league. He will continue, and I think he will break records, and hopefully it ends well for us. And yeah, just before I wrap up, let's touch on this contract situation, especially Trent. Obviously, there's been reports from Marca suggesting that he has already made his choice to join Real Madrid. We wait and see. But me, personally, if Trent wants to go, he can, But one thing is for sure, I'm not going to like Trent any less than I do now. He's a Liverpool legend. He's done so well for us, since coming through the academy. Best right back in the world. He is a generational talent. He's a phenomenal footballer. You really won't hear me say a bad word about Trent. I love Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's been brilliant for us. If he wants to join Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham, he can. I think sometimes we forget as football fans, yes, we want what's best for our club, but there's the career of a footballer is short. So if he wants to make that move, so be it. I'm not really going to blame Trent for it. I think maybe the club could have done better in terms of getting that sorted, the likes of Edwards and Hughes, the hierarchy upstairs, they could have done better with the contract situations. But with Virgil and Salah now, it's important to get those two wrapped up. We can't have all three leaving. It's that simple. That is pretty much the only downside to Liverpool right now. But otherwise, on the pitch, we're flying. It's just those contract situations. So let's see what happens with those. Hopefully Trent can stay, but if not, then I guess it's a unique opportunity. Real Madrid are historically the greatest club, in the world. So if he joins them, not great for us, but that's football. But let's see, let's take it each game at a time, and win this league title. Up the Reds.